Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we bring you the story of a normal man who was called to action as his neighbors faced grave danger during last year's flooding. And a local organization holds its annual auction meant to raise money to give students here in Hazard access to scholarships.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is just before 6:31 on this Thursday morning. I'm Keaton Hall. Let's throw it over to Brandon Robinson for a check of the forecast.
Keaton, fairly calm right now. Not a whole lot really to tell you about, but it is going to be a nice day. It's going to be a nice day for the Hillbilly Days Festival kickoff over in Pikeville. Again, it's just going to be nice for everybody. Let's take a look, see what's going on at the Mountain Parkway up near the Wolf-Powell County line near Slade. And you see not a whole lot of action up there, not a whole lot of traffic either. So again, everybody kind of staying at the house for now. I'm sure here pretty soon it'll start to get pretty busy out there. People head off to work and school. Temperatures 60s in Pikeville, Prestonsburg, and in Jackson. Good start weather there for the Hillbilly Days Festival over in Pikeville, but we see some 40s across parts of southwest Virginia and southeast Kentucky, even into East Tennessee there. Some of the cooler spots. Grundy right now, the cold spot at 44. Your day planner for today, we're heading up into the mid-80s. The good thing about today, even though it is going to be warm and that sun will be bright, no humidity. And that's also a bad thing because it can also help spread those fires as well. Keaton.
Thank you, Brandon. Nearly 9 months following July's historic flood, we have shared numerous stories of neighbors stepping up to help one another. In the time leading up to the East Kentucky Leadership Awards, we will be sharing more of those stories. WYMT's Alyssa Williams talked to award recipient Nathan Day to learn how his actions on the morning of the flood changed the lives of those around him.
For Knott County and Nathan Day, helping others is just what you are supposed to do.
I just think people need to be more big-hearted and be good people and help people, because that's who I am. You know, I'll help anybody.
This is a principle Day calls on as a member of a local motorcycle club, the Fallen Kings. But it's also a principle he never thought would call him to action the morning of July 28th.
The water was just unreal, and it was so loud. And it was raining. So I started hollering for this lady that lives over the mountain and seeing if she could hear me. I think it was around the third time that I hollered. I heard the lady in this house over here say, "Nathan, help us. I can't hold on much longer."
When Day looked down from his porch that morning, he could see a woman hanging off a gutter of a home and another woman with 5 children trapped on top of a roof.
I heard them start crying. That's when I said, I've got to go now. I have no choice but to go.
That is when Day and his wife drove to the end of their driveway so he could wade through the swift floodwater to get to them.
But me and that lady, she had reached, I'd go through the thicket. She'd give me a kid, I'd take it through the thicket. I put one of those kids on my back and one under each arm. I took 3 of them at one time, and they got the other 2. That way we could make one trip, and we could come out there all as one.
Day says the severity of the situation did not hit him until he brought everyone back to his home.
This was adrenaline. When your heart breaks, is when you've got 5 kids in your home. You don't know them. You don't know their personalities. You know nothing about them. But they're safe.
But the help Day would provide was just the beginning.
When I look out these windows and I realize 2 women that meant so much to this community, they probably taught 90% of these people. Their houses was half underwater. And I said, I can't leave them.
Day waded through the water once again, this time with another neighbor, to help the 2 women who were still trapped in their homes.
We actually took them all the way behind all those houses, through the water, and then took them up that hillside, up onto the bypass.
Day helped to save 9 people that day. 9 people he says could have been added to the flood's death toll.
There are people out here that does care. You know, there's still people here that will help you in the time of need. And everybody won't turn their back on you, because I won't.
Day's story has been heard across the nation, but the message he wants everyone to take from it is to love your neighbors.
I just feel that if everybody would open their door and open their heart a little more, this world would be a lot better place.
The 2023 East Kentucky Leadership Individual recipient is Nathan Day.
Since July 28th, Day has been featured on several national news outlets and named a Kentucky Colonel. He says this recognition will never change him or his drive to continue helping his community. He adds he hopes these stories will inspire others to keep helping these flood-impacted areas. Later today, we'll profile a Perry County woman who also answered the call for help as soon as she could. People here in Perry County now have a new option when it comes to their health care and therapy. Mountain Therapy held their ribbon cutting Wednesday afternoon. The Hazard-based office is locally owned and operated by Jonathan Sizemore and Sam Sparkman. Together, they offer speech and physical therapy.
I see a lot of the sports injuries in the area, and also, treat some post-rehab, post-ACL, a lot of sports injuries, and then I'm blessed to be able to see a wide, variety of things, a lot of neuro and musculoskeletal injuries.
Mountain Therapy is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The Hazard Lions Club is hosting its 51st radio auction benefiting scholarships to high school students in Perry County. This is the first auction since the COVID-19 pandemic. The club is auctioning off items like TVs, cooking sets, and more. Hazard Lions Club President Abby Little says she's excited to be back.
We were going to have it back in the fall, but after the Eastern Kentucky floods, we decided to postpone it until spring. So this is actually our first auction in the spring, and we're actually doing really well with it, a lot better than we thought we would. And, it's our first year back from COVID, so we're really excited to be back this year.
The auction continues for one more night. You can call WSGS 101.1 this evening between 5 and 9 to place a bid. Hillbilly Days is back, and the city of Pikeville is already packing in the activities. The 3-day festival officially kicks off today with food, fun, and festival favorites back on the streets and Riverville area of downtown Pikeville. City officials say the excitement is in the air, and they hope to see a great turnout.
There's over 200 and some vendors that are going to be right downtown Pikeville. The carnival's already here and set up, so make sure you swing by that. It's going to be a fun 3 days, and it's beautiful right now, so hopefully we can keep this weather to have just as many people as we did last year.
Our WYMT guest weather booth will also make an appearance this year, so plan to drop by. Come say hey to us. We'll be there. We'll love to talk to you. We will have live coverage from the Hillbilly Days today starting at 4 p.m.
Cameron's there today, Evan's there tomorrow, I'm there on Saturday, and we got a picture for you from Pikeville, US 119, US 23 intersection there near Pikeville Commons. People getting geared up for day one of one of the biggest festivals in the mountains. So again, head on out there, get you some good food. Temperatures already in the 60s up there, 62, 64 at Jackson, and then we go to 44 at Grundy. A lot of 40s and 50s out there, some 60s as well this morning. Very mild start to the day. Out the door forecast, we're going to see a mix of sun and clouds, and very mild air this afternoon, 85 a daytime high. Time 6:39. Good morning. You're watching Mountain News this morning right here on WYMT.